It's a pretty nice evening, man. Sunset. I love sunsets. And, I had a question in mind. Did we forget that we live in the Garden of Eden? Look at that. So, I decided to take a little walk, and it just kind of came to me like maybe I should, maybe I have something to say. So, here I'm saying it. I think what prompted me to come out here is I got hungry. I sort of think that when you're starved, not that I'm starved, I don't think I could ever be completely starved to the point where I feel like I would say that I'm nearly dying from starvation. I don't think I would ever get to that point. I mean, think about it like a human. I have plenty of water no matter if I have money or not. I can get water. But when it comes to food, I can't just go in a store and grab an apple or a banana and walk out, without somebody stopping me at least, asking me what I'm doing and, But, isn't that crazy? Isn't that kind of fucked up in a way? Like, basically, if you're not a working human being and if you're not being taken care of by somebody, a parent or whatever, or some sort of care provider, imagine being autistic in this world or have some sort of mental disability or mental disorder or something, and you can't function like a normal human being. What happens to those people? How do they eat? Well, they have programs for them because, they're disabled or they're mental or whatever it is. You have to join some sort of program or something, or your family has to pay for it or something. Somebody has to pay for it, or you have to pay for it yourself. Because just to eat in this world, just to be here, when we didn't even really have a choice, we were just kind of born in it. And, we were just kind of born into this. And so, without money, basically you die. You die. But, so like right now, for example, and I'm not asking for donations. In fact, I kind of sort of cringing at that now. I kind of don't want to ask for donations. I don't know, it doesn't feel right for me. I like to let it in, you can put it in this way, I like to let it in God's hands. I kind of put it in that way because people seem to resonate with that better. It's either that or the universe. All that is. That you somehow stumble upon a certain situation where, lo and behold, you get what you need. In fact, today, I had a friend call me who I met at Starbucks, and him and his family, I believe they're from Dubai, but he's a really cool dude, misunderstood kind of character, but really cool guy. And I thought he might have been like maybe, mentally challenged or something, but he wasn't. He's just a normal dude, In fact, he's one of the only people that I found out who knows of Jacques Fresco and his work, resource-based economy. But he called me today, and he was all like, hey, are you at Starbucks? You know, I want to see you. And like, you know, I feel like I've become his only friend, you know. Because if he's not at Starbucks hanging out with me, he's mostly probably at home, you know, watching movies on YouTube or watching whatever on YouTube, you know. He loves sci-fi. But he called me, he's like, hey, are you hungry? And as a matter of fact, yeah, I actually am hungry right now. You know, I think I ran out of money yesterday. I think the last meal I had was a bean and cheese burrito I got from Del Taco. I tried making it bold, but I didn't have enough, you know. I didn't have like that 380 whatever it was. So it dropped it down to like 275 or something for a bean and cheese burrito. And you know, it's a full moon, and I'm sort of taking this time, or I feel like sometimes the universe calls me towards certain things. Because during full moons, new moons, sometimes you're called to fast. And you're called to fast because there's this pull. There's this pull that happens because we're made of 70% water, you know, and the moon has an effect on water. So it affects with the emotions, and emotions flow like water. And when you tense up and you hold yourself, when you have trauma, you stop that water from flowing through your body, through your emotions, and water sort of gets stuck. And you know what happens when water collects in a stream and creates little pools, sometimes off to the side. You know, bacteria can grow, or other life can grow, you know what I mean? It becomes stagnant, and if it's polluted, pollution can collect in that area, and, you know, unwanted bacteria begins to grow. And so in that same way, we have to take that, pull that, or relax that, is really what we're wanting. We're wanting relaxation. I think it was Eckhart Tolle who mentioned that the only real problem in this world is simply not being relaxed. Not thinking too much is the problem. Thinking too much. Really, that's really what it is. So in certain moments I feel called, you know, like by the universe, because it's out of my hands. Like I have no control over it. There's nothing I can do, you know. So I surrender to it and I accept it, and typically it flows this way where I don't eat. And it feels good on my body. It feels like something in there is burning, you know? And emotions start to climb up too. I think the last 2 or 3 days I've been feeling pretty down. It could be for other reasons too. I stopped smoking weed again. I was smoking weed for creativity, you know, to help inspire my channel, and that helps. But just like food, weed comes when I'm called to. I have a taste for it, I have a desire for it, and it comes, some way, somehow. So today I was hungry, and my buddy, he called me, and he's like, hey, I want to come hang out with you, you know, you at Starbucks, you know. I'm like, yeah, I'm at Starbucks. He's like, you know, I'm going to go get some fries and I'll be over there. Because what he likes to do, and he's done this without even asking me, you know, he just kind of shows up with it. He brings French fries and like 3 or 4 little balls of falafel. And I love falafel, man. And so he comes over and he shares his fries with me. He shares his falafel with me. And then he takes off. We chit-chat for a little bit, you know, have a few laughs, and then he's gone. I had no money today, you know, but I was hungry. And I didn't ask him. I didn't need to ask anybody, you know. In fact, that's the thing, like, you know, you can feel called to ask, and then you act on it, and you shall receive, you know. I think maybe that's what it means to be in 5D, is to surrender. You know, I think that's what it means. You know. So I'm out here because I was kind of looking around for some prickly pears because I wanted to eat, you know, eat a little something. And I don't want to ask for oatmeal because I'm pretty sure people would give me if I went to Facebook, on the Facebook groups, local groups around here, and ask for food. Just like I've done it maybe like 2 or 3 months back. I did that and I got tons of food. People were like, yeah, here you go. So I know that I can do that. Or I know that I can just simply walk to the church and ask them, you know, if they have any food or any canned food or something. I'm pretty sure that if I really wanted to, I could. But I don't really want to push it. And I feel like maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. So for fun, I was coming out here, hiking with my pup, hiking with Sin. And it's beautiful. And I was noticing that I live in a garden. So there's sage plants, of course, yerba santa, which are really good medicinally or spiritually, or, you know what I mean? Not really good to eat. And then I came across these. You know what those are. Everybody knows what these are. Right? Oh, look, a raisin. So, they have seeds in them, but they're grapes. And there's a plethora of these plants all around here. Here's another one. They're vines, so they kind of like twirl up in some of the other bushes around here, the other plants. And, you know, I looked it up. Grapes that are unripe are okay to eat as long as you don't eat too much. In fact, they can actually be beneficial for you because of the low sugar content, because the sugar doesn't start to develop until they age. So, I think the point is to remember that we live in the Garden of Eden. And it is when we seek, maybe that's the story of Adam and Eve, where Eve eats Eve, the feminine, seeks knowledge, you know, eats the apple of knowledge. And now you're wondering, where am I going to get it? When am I going to get it? How am I going to get it? And so you're seeking knowledge. And that knowledge, it's tasty. It's tasty like sugar. And it's addicting. And just like any other addiction, it can become your ball and chain. To the point where it makes you suffer. To the point of suffering when you don't have it. I gotta like constantly flip my phone around so I could like make sure that it's not shut off on me, because it does that. So I'm actually not really looking for food right now. I feel like maybe I was cold. I didn't have a script, nothing. And I'm pretty sure that hardly anyone's gonna click on this because they don't know who I am. Who cares, you know? I'm just putting it out there. If you're seeing this, maybe it resonates, maybe it doesn't. Who cares? I don't care. But, you know, I'm walking now, I think, because, I mean, why put a name on it, right? Why put words to everything, you know? It's another addiction. Again, back to the knowledge thing, you know? Look at that grape. That one's purposely attended. I see a dude that comes out here and waters these specific ones, which are along this trail. But there's some that are just scattered through that he doesn't water, that just kind of grow wild, which is really cool. And when I started walking, I was like, Sin, catch me a rabbit. Imagine that feeling, man, of going back to primal. Not that that's the solution or anything. I think the solution really lies in putting our heads together, putting our technology together, right? Because that's a resource in itself. Intelligence is a resource. Gathering all this stuff and giving, providing, having a center hub where people can, you know what I mean, get their food. And, you know what I mean? Who knows, maybe the reason why I don't have any money at this particular moment, and that could change. In the next moment, I could stumble upon a $100 bill or something, you know? You just don't know. And I'm not here to know. I'm not here to know. Like nature, I don't think the point is to care. I think the point is to just be. Because the rain comes when it comes, right? The plants don't worry about that, right? In fact, certain plants share nutrients. They share nutrients with other plants through mycelium even. Through mycelium, through networks within the earth. Plants talk to each other. Hey, you're missing nutrients, here's some. And through those mycelial networks or through those root networks, they're exchanging these nutrients. So, I think I see a dog over there. Come on, Sin, come over here. I feel like, come on. Like, I just feel like nobody likes dogs being free. And, you know, like I feel like if dogs aren't friendly, they're either gonna they're gonna know right away, like, I'm gonna stay back, right? Because they don't wanna get hurt. You know what I mean? And especially when they're not in their territory, you know, it's not really that big of an issue. If you just let the dogs kind of be, you know, they're fine. They're fine. Anyways, I didn't want to make this about dogs, but I seen somebody over there with a dog, you know, probably scared of Sin, thinking she's a coyote, because she does look like a coyote from far away, and she is part coyote. But, so, I also tried looking for prickly pears too. None of them are ripe either. It's just not the season for everything to be ripe. It's just, you know, and that's okay. That's okay. I ate some of those unripe grapes just a little bit, because, I mean, when I ate the French fries and falafel earlier, it was like, you know, it was good and it was hours ago, you know, so it's by that time again, you know, it's by that time. But, did we forget that we live in the Garden of Eden, you know? Did we forget that? Did we forget that we're a part of it? And were we too tempted by the sweetness of the apple? And did we lose ourselves in that sweetness? You know what I mean? Did we become so self-absorbed in it that it became so addicting to know everything all the time? You know? Did we? Oh, it's crazy to me knowing that we're the only species on this planet that has to pay to live here. Because if you don't pay, you starve or beg. You starve or beg. Either way, you're suffering if you don't have it. So instead of starving or begging, I choose allowing. I choose, as cliche as it sounds, to just be, to flow, to allow. Because it comes, man. You know what I mean? And so I think that going into 5D, right? Going into that higher state of consciousness is allowing yourself to bind away from everything worldly. Being attached to food, and unhealthy food at that. Being attached to relationships when we know that we're all gonna die. When we know that, you know, not every moment is forever. You don't know how many times I've promised at least like a good handful of my girlfriends that I was going to be with them forever. And that they promised me, you know? And look at me now. I'm not sad about it. You know, I'm not depressed by it. I mean, how could you when you have this view? You know? How could you when you're breathing, when you're alive, when you have a friend, when you can make a friend? You know? How could you when there is a plethora of more experiences that you can offer yourself, that you can give to yourself? It's endless. We hold ourselves by thinking so much about it. And we think and think and think, and next thing you know, we're there forever. Did we forget? Did we? Did we? Or am I just trying to make myself feel better? All right. There's also oranges too around this place. Not where I'm at, but in the neighborhoods there's a plethora of oranges too. Grapefruit. Not in LA, man. You go to LA, it's like a concrete jungle. It's like just a few cities over. From there on until LA, it's all gray, man. It's all gray. When the world gave us color, why do you think we're called human? Man of light. And that's my message. Thank you. Thank you for being here.